How did he end up this thin?
Kai was just pushing himself too hard during his live combat drills in the core sector. Young people forget to rest, so he looks a bit haggard.
Exactly. He's been training hard these past 3 years. He's just tired.
He was born to inherit one of the most powerful families in the world. Then his own family destroyed his life, stole his identity, and left him to die. Years later, he returned with one arm missing and a secret that could destroy the entire bloodline. The story begins with Kai Hale, the legitimate firstborn son of the powerful Hale family. For generations, the Hale name has represented wealth, authority, and military power. Kai has been raised to believe that one day he will inherit the family legacy. His father, Richard Hale, sees him as the future of the family. But Kai has no idea that someone much closer to him is secretly waiting for his downfall. That person is Adrian. Adrian was brought into the Hale household when he was young. Unlike Kai, who is confident and sometimes stubborn, Adrian is calm, respectful, and extremely good at winning people's trust. Kai treats him like a younger brother. He never imagines that Adrian could become his greatest enemy. And then something happens that changes everything. The ancestral artifact disappears one day. An extremely important artifact vanishes from the Hale family's private vault. This isn't an ordinary treasure. The artifact is connected to the family's ancient bloodline and carries enormous significance. The family immediately launches an investigation. But before Kai can even understand what's happening, the evidence begins pointing directly at him. His identification appears in the vault records. Witnesses claim they saw him near the restricted area. There are even records suggesting that Kai had secretly been communicating with outsiders. Kai is completely shocked. He knows someone has framed him. And when he looks around the room, he notices Adrian standing there. Kai immediately suspects him. But Adrian doesn't become angry. Instead, he acts hurt. He makes it look like Kai has accused an innocent brother who only wants to help. That simple reaction makes Kai look even more guilty. Kai desperately asks his father to investigate the evidence properly. But Richard has already made his decision. He chooses to believe the evidence instead of his own son. Kai is expelled from the Hale estate. And the most painful part isn't losing his inheritance. It's realizing that his own parents don't trust him. He leaves the mansion carrying almost nothing except the family crest around his neck. But the people who framed him aren't finished. They want to make sure Kai never comes back. The attack that changes Kai forever while traveling through a remote mountainous region. Kai is suddenly ambushed. The attackers know exactly who he is. Their goal is simple. Kill him before he can return to the Hale family. Kai fights desperately, but he's heavily outnumbered. During the attack, his arm is brutally injured. Still, Kai refuses to die. He manages to escape into the wilderness, where he collapses alone. Nobody comes looking for him. His family believes he has disappeared. His enemies believe he's finished. But Kai survives. Unfortunately, his injured arm cannot be saved. He loses it. For a young man who was once being prepared to lead a powerful family, this should destroy him. Instead, it transforms him. Kai learns how to fight with one arm. He learns how to survive without money or servants. Most importantly, he learns never to depend on anyone again. The innocent heir who trusted his family disappears. In his place is a quiet, hardened man with only one goal: find out who betrayed him. Years pass. Then Kai finally returns. The lost heir returns when Kai arrives outside the Hale mansion. Even the guards don't recognize him. They laugh when he claims to be Kai Hale. They see his missing arm and assume he's an imposter. But Kai doesn't argue. He simply stares through the gates at the home he once belonged to. Then a military vehicle arrives. A powerful woman named Marshall Ash steps out. She immediately notices the ancient Hale crest around Kai's neck. She knows that almost nobody can possess it. Ash begins questioning him. Kai tells her what happened. He doesn't ask for pity. He doesn't even demand revenge. He simply says he wants the truth. Ash realizes that Kai may genuinely be the missing heir. She agrees to help him investigate what happened years ago. And that's when the first cracks begin appearing in the Hale family's perfect story. The evidence was fabricated. Ash examines the original records. Something is wrong. Security logs have been altered. Witness statements were changed. Files disappeared. Even the vault access information doesn't match Kai's normal behavior. Then Kai remembers something he had forgotten. On the night the artifact disappeared, he saw Adrian near the vault. At the time, Kai trusted him. Now that memory suddenly becomes extremely important. Ash begins investigating Adrian. Meanwhile, Adrian has already become the center of the Hale family. He has everything Kai once had. The respect, the wealth, the influence, the family's trust. But Adrian has a secret. He knows about an ancient chamber hidden beneath the Hale estate. And inside that chamber is the real reason he wanted Kai gone. The secret of the Hale bloodline. Kai and Ash eventually discover the truth about the ancestral artifact. The Hale bloodline isn't simply about inheritance. The family has been guarding something ancient for generations. Deep beneath the estate is a sealed underground chamber. The earliest members of the Hale family discovered a dangerous force hidden beneath the land. They couldn't destroy it, so they created a seal. And only the legitimate heir possessed the bloodline necessary to maintain that seal. Suddenly, everything makes sense. Adrian didn't frame Kai simply because he wanted the family fortune. He wanted the power connected to the Hale bloodline. Kai was the one person standing between Adrian and that power. So Adrian destroyed his reputation, turned his family against him, and arranged for him to disappear. But Adrian made one mistake. He underestimated Kai's ability to survive. Adrian finally loses control as Kai gets closer to the truth. Adrian becomes desperate. He attempts to use the ancient power for himself. But the bloodline doesn't accept him. Instead, something begins going terribly wrong. Adrian experiences intense pain. The ancient power starts affecting his body. And eventually, the truth about his betrayal begins coming to light. Kai confronts his former brother. Adrian expects hatred. But Kai doesn't attack him immediately. Instead, he asks one question: why? Adrian admits that he spent years believing Kai had everything simply because of his birth. Kai was born into the family. Kai was loved. Kai was chosen. Adrian believed that if he removed Kai, everything would finally belong to him. But Adrian never understood the real responsibility behind the bloodline. The Hale heir wasn't supposed to rule over others. He was supposed to protect them. The final secret, the underground chamber, begins shaking. The ancient seal starts breaking apart. Something is awakened beneath the family estate. Kai enters the chamber with Ash. Inside, they discover evidence left behind by the original Hale ancestors. The truth is completely different from what the family believed. The bloodline was never created to make the Hale family superior. It existed because someone had to protect the world from what was hidden underground. Over generations, the family forgot that responsibility. They turned their duty into privilege. They became obsessed with inheritance, status, and power. And Adrian was simply the latest person corrupted by that belief. Suddenly, a massive creature emerges from the darkness. Ash prepares to fight. But Kai notices something strange. The creature isn't attacking him. Instead, it looks directly at Kai. Then, it lowers its head. Kai realizes that the creature is testing him. The true heir isn't the person who wants power. It's the person willing to carry responsibility. Kai steps forward, and the ancient seal responds to him. Kai chooses freedom after everything is finally exposed. Richard comes face to face with his son. For years he believed Kai betrayed the family. Now he knows the truth. He realizes that his own decision to expel Kai nearly killed him. Richard apologizes. He even offers Kai the official Hale family seal and tells him that the leadership legally belongs to him. But Kai refuses. This is one of the most important moments of the story. Kai spent years believing that becoming the Hale heir was his destiny. Now he understands something much more important. He doesn't need the family title to prove who he is. He doesn't need their wealth. He doesn't need their approval. And he certainly doesn't need revenge. Kai tells his father that he isn't abandoning the family. He's simply choosing himself. And in the end, the man who was once rejected by his own bloodline becomes stronger than the family that betrayed him. Not because he took their power, but because he finally realized he never needed it. What would you do if the people you trusted most betrayed you? Would you forgive them or come back for revenge? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this movie explained, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more incredible movie recaps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.